It was a normal, sunny day in Canada. On July 9, 2007, at the time our family used to live in Russia. Every summer break, we would go to Canada and spend time with our family. On the summer of July 9th of 2007, our visit to Canada was not an ordinary visit, because my mother and father brought me to Canada that summer just to get a checkup in the hospital. I remember waking up every morning, going to the hospital to get a blood and urine test. To be honest, I really didn't mind spending 2 or 3 hours in the hospital, because when I was a little kid, I've always wanted to be a doctor, just like my mom. Since at that time we used to live in Russia, my mom didn't like to take us to the hospital there, because she said it was not safe. So my mom took the opportunity, since we were in Canada, to get my brother and sister a checkup. For some reason, my brother was going to the hospital every day, more than he was usually going. But when the final results came back, I understood why he was going every day. My mom told my sister and I that they had found that my brother had cancer, and that he was going to be out for a long time. My sister and I went back to school in Russia with my dad, while my mom stayed with my brother. Every day, my mom would connect to Skype to speak with my sister and I. It was not the same having my mom and brother away for so many months, because the house felt alone without them. And I sometimes thought how life would be if my brother would have passed away. But I know it would not be the same. In my school in Russia, my teachers and friends would not talk about it in front of my sister and I. And I sometimes wondered if they knew about it or not. I felt like people were treating me with more respect. After a few months, we left Canada. My father, sister, and I went back to Canada to visit my brother. When I saw my brother in his room, he was wearing a wig to cover the hair that he used to have. But for me, he was actually looking pretty strong, and he was looking good. Every afternoon, I would go play and spend time with my brother. I loved the way he would make up funny stories about how he got his operation scars on his body. For example, he would say that in his past life he was a pirate, and that was an excuse for having the scars on his body. I love the way my brother would take the bad things that happened to him and change them to a more positive. On September 4th of 2007 was the day that my brother was going to get the final and most important surgery to get rid of what he's had in his body. I remember him in his bed and how the doctors were taking him to the surgery. Before my brother went to surgery, I told him to be strong. And I also remember my parents telling him that we'll be waiting right outside the door. I knew everything was going to go okay, because my brother is a strong man. The next day, when I woke up, my mother, father, and sister were waiting outside of the operating room. When I got close to my parents, they hugged me and told me that the operation went better than expected and that my brother was going to be better. That day was the happiest day of my life, because I knew that I could be back home with him, and I knew that we were going to spend more time together. I knew that by the end, the relationship between my brother and I was going to be stronger, and that we were going to be more united. Well, this is the end. Thank you for listening to my digital story.